Death Star is one of the biggest and most amazing LEGO sets ever released. Originally sold for about $400, now reaches nearly $2,000. It's released in 2005 as part of the Ultimate Collector series. Now a part of our LEGO room. We decided to celebrate New Year 2021 by building this set. It was actually quite hard to start building, because one of the very first parts was very hard to find. Bricks come in several bags and boxes, not in order, and that's why sorting the parts was very important, especially because many parts are hidden in bags containing completely different bricks. Some of them are spread among different bags. We started to build the main construction while other members were sorting and preparing the bricks. Okay, maybe not all the time. It's not easy to get around over 3000 parts, and the colors in the booklet are confusing. It's not easy to guess between the dark grey and the black parts, which are quite similarly marked. The main construction hangs on a cross, which seems to be randomly colored. I think the logic behind it is that the Death Star is shown at the moment of explosion, and this is the reason for the blue and red parts inside. After first hour or two, we began to work a little bit faster. Most bricks are sorted and displayed by Zosia and Stasio, and we are beginning to understand the logic behind the construction. And we memorized already where each parts are lying on the floor. The construction itself, it's not especially sturdy. As you see, many shields are hanging on one end, flapping in the breeze. Here it is with all flaps installed. Now is where the fun begins. The main exposed part is created using two identical blocks. One of them will be hanging upside down. We are building them independently, and after each layer, checking if both builders achieved the same result. It's very easy to make mistakes at this stage, so it's crucial to prepare parts for each layer and make sure that no parts are left on the floor after the layer is finished. The film is accelerated between 200 and 400 times. It took us several hours to make this part, but it was very satisfying. You see the whole thing growing. Now it's time to mount both parts. Theoretically, it's easy, unless you make mistake earlier. It's time to take a short rest and to admire what we did achieve so far. Already looks impressive. Now the shields and the rim at the equator. We were expecting to build several identical blocks, but in reality each shield was different. The rim was the least satisfying and most boring part of the whole building process. There is zillion small parts and it's easy to accidentally swap segments. As it turned out later, they are not identical. And the two rightmost segments mounted by Janek are actually swapped, which will cause confusion later on. It's worth mentioning that there are two different Death Stars released by LEGO. This one is a model which is trying to be in scale, where the other, released later, is a toy with minifigures for kids to play after building. Yet another bug, missing bricks. But I decided to fix it later after consulting booklet. Now to the main laser. For anybody building this set, I recommend to do this a little bit differently than in the manual. You see, the manual suggests to mount the yellow beams after the laser is on the star itself. It's not easy to align them and the main dish is bending. It's better to mount all beams while the dish is still lying on the floor, before green square bricks are removed. Another day, another set of shields. It's beginning to be a little bit boring. The shields are very similar, however not identical, and you have to build them separately. As you see, I'm struggling to put them in correct places. This is because of the previous bug in the rim. There are two segments swapped. At this stage we see that we are nearly finishing, but it's progressing unexpectedly slowly. Luckily the whole star gets final shape, which is really satisfying. But Murphy's law is always active, and when we are expecting to end the job, in a few minutes, bang! The good thing is that it gave us opportunity to align the dish of the main laser. Meanwhile, Zosia is building really last part, a little spaceship which will be floating around the star. Building the star gave us a lot of joy. This set is a sign of the past glory of LEGO, where sets were designed to mimic the reality. Okay, in this case, a fictional reality. Later, Star Wars sets were less serious, meant rather for the kids to play with minifigures than for real hardcore Star Wars fans. I'm happy that I had a chance to experience this sign of the past.